in the Old Testament, what we Christians call the parousia,
Yeah,
in the Old Testament, they called the day of the Lord,
of course. Yes.
or the day of vengeance, or the day
Yes.
of fire. He says, for the Lord will come in fire, verse 15, like the
Hmm.
whirlwind. So that's day of the Lord language,
Absolutely.
which to us Christians means the second coming
It
of
does.
the Son, because
Yep.
his Son embodies the Lord God himself.
That's right.
And he has been given authority to execute
Hmm.
the Old Testament judgment described, and so on. That's how we Christians
Yes.
understand it. But
Yes.
what's interesting here is that until this day of the Lord comes, it seems that people are still under the old covenant, what we would call law of Moses, because of this mention of how God will judge those who are not keeping, it sounds like, food laws. Verse 17. And then even beyond that, when the kingdom is finally established, verses 22 and 23, where it has the new moon and the Sabbath day.
Well, it appears then that that calendar is reinstated. That's somewhat obscure, but we know at least that the Feast of Tabernacles has to be kept by Egypt. We know that much. Egypt is not part of the Jewish people, clearly, but they're expected to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. If they don't, they get punished. So there's a reinstatement of the Mosaic system, at least for a time, whether forever, I don't know. Maybe it's because it looks back to remind them of what went before. I don't know. Nobody knows the answer to that question that I've come across. But all flesh, that's to say, every single nation will come and worship before me from Sabbath to Sabbath, week by week, possibly a reference to Sabbath keeping there. Certainly a reference to keeping the Feast of Tabernacles. We know that. Month by month, new moon to new moon. Does that imply the keeping of the new moon? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I will leave that entirely open.